I didn't realize how awesome this system was going to be when I ordered it, but dang, they nailed it. My name is Jim, and this is The Edge of Tech. Raise3D reached out to me and asked if I wanted to check out a 3D printer. But until that point, I didn't know they did anything else but FDM printing. This is a resin printer. Now, I was very intrigued and I said yes immediately to checking out this system. But if you fast forward to the day I actually got them, I think I said yes a little fast without doing my research first. Now, I knew the system was called the DF2 Plus, and it came with a wash system and a cure station. What I didn't know is that each of those machines were built like tanks. They showed up in huge boxes on their own pallets. I didn't know that was going to happen. I was expecting, your run-of-the-mill resin printer with wash and cure station. This is not that. It's geared towards small businesses and manufacturers that need a complete resin system for things like prototyping. And you can tell. Not only does each of these machines look and feel great, they are literally built like tanks, like they're super heavy duty. And this is the best resin printing system that I can honestly say I've ever used. Now, the DF2 Plus comes with a complete ecosystem, but it all starts with this right here, the resin printer. This is the DF2 Plus resin printer, and it has a build volume of 200 by 112 by 300. And it definitely got me by with all the models that I printed. So this is a DLP resin printer, which means it is a very high quality projector instead of an LCD screen like other resin printers. This is great because they say it can print up to 100 millimeters an hour speed for your fast prototyping and stuff like that. It may not be the fastest resin printer, but I tell you what, with that high quality projector and 100 millimeters an hour, that's not bad at all. Along with the red door that opens and closes in the front, it has a 10.25-inch touchscreen that actually works very well. It's well lit and very responsive. It also allows you to make changes to your print without going back to the slicer. It uses something called Magic Layout, so you can easily adjust the position of your print and even duplicate the part if you want to right from the screen. I want to jump in quick while I'm editing this because I definitely forgot to talk about the automatic resin feeding system that they have. This little base here actually reads the type of resin that you put in. So in this case, we're using the standard white, and when you drop it on there, it just knows and it tells the printer which resin you're using, and it automatically keeps it full for you. Very easy to use. Dock your bottle on the base here, and then it automatically knows what you're using. If you go over here to the screen, you can actually see right here, if you can read that, it says Raise3D Standard White V1, and it's full. And it shows that this is the feeding machine here. You can see in the build plate area right here that the standard V1 is in there, and it's actually pretty low in there right now. So when we start a new print, it'll actually try to fill it, or you can fill it before you start a new print with a new bottle. Pretty cool that it actually already knows what resin you use if you use the Raise3D resin, and it keeps it full during your prints. So wanted to toss that in there while I was editing. So if all of that wasn't enough to show you that this thing was built for business, this will. Raise3D claims that the max capacity of the DF2 Plus is 200 kilograms or 441 pounds with high accuracy and no staggered layers. That's absolutely crazy. I have no way to test this, but I can tell you this, even with a full solid build plate, you're never gonna come close to 200 kilograms inside of this printer on that build plate. But it's crazy to think that this machine is actually manufactured to be able to hold that amount of weight. Another crazy thing that really stands out with the DF2 Plus is that the build plate actually uses RFID technology. That's right, when you send a printer from the slicer, it goes ahead and prints everything you do, and it stores all of the settings for the washing and drying and curing right on the build plate. That means all you need is the build plate for each of the parts you print, and it's always gonna be the same, it's always gonna be very consistent, and it's always gonna be built right into the plate for whatever resin you're using. That way, it never changes in manufacturing or prototyping or for small businesses that want to make several runs of the same part. It's actually really cool. It's probably the closest to automatic resin printing that I've ever seen because I don't have to dial any numbers in or anything like that. I just depend on the slicer to tell the printer to tell the plate, and the plate to tell the rest of the machines. It's pretty dang awesome. Now, I could talk specs about these machines all day, but I think it's time to go look at some of the prints that's actually come off the DF2 Plus and see how they look. All right, since the DF2 is really geared towards small businesses and rapid prototyping, I thought it appropriate to start with the plain beveled gears that you see right here. All the models that I show today, with the exception of one, will have links in the description below. But these are the plain beveled gears that I found on Maker World. I put into the slicer and sent them. I did leave the support materials on so you guys could see what the default support materials would be like. I do understand that you can customize this. You can add supports, you can remove supports, you can change how they're on here and where you put them. But I wanted to see how easy this would be for a business that had never used one of these machines before, that's just kind of getting started, and maybe they're just using the defaults. So the big gear came out really, really good. I think I don't have any complaints at all. Everything looks good. The gear part looks really good, and all the detail is there. Small gear as well. Very good, very nice print. And I mean, this thing, it really does very good resin prints. Next, I grabbed a couple of pistons, and I did a couple different sizes so you can see scaling, and I printed them at the same time. So maybe you're checking the scaling on a part and you want to print one and another one just slightly bigger, or maybe there's two different sizes you want to go at the same time. You can do that with this printer, and they both came out really good. The big one is there, very good details. You can see the rings around the sides there. Again, you can see where the support material is inside of there, and also the small one. Very good, again, with the supports, all of the details there, and both of these prints came out very good. This full brake caliper was a really fun print too. I know that there are car and motorcycle companies out there that do rapid prototyping with resin, some like every single night. And this is a really great example of what you could do. This brake caliper actually has the pads modeled in here. Obviously, if you were trying to fit the caliper, you wouldn't model it in here, but that's the model I found. And I thought it was a really cool model. I did pull off some of the supports, so it was easier to see the whole model. But it came out really good. It's super smooth, and that should be about the exact size that we would want it to be, like for a motorcycle. I really like this print because it actually shows what you could do with this. I love the idea of having a full brake caliper like right here in my hand. So with this one, I'm actually going to walk you through the whole process of how these machines work, and so I can show you how that build plate works and kind of the process of using these machines. So first you'll load up and print your part, and when the printer's done, it'll be hanging there on the resin printer just like this. From this point, when the print is done, you can actually take the whole build plate right off of the DF2 Plus printer and put it straight onto the wash station. What you'll do is hit the little button, the wash station platform will come up, you push your plate right on there, and because the printer saved the settings onto the RFID on that plate, it tells the wash station how long to wash it, how long to air dry it, and then it raises it when it's done with those. So you put it on, the machine chimes. On the screen, you'll see the numbers change, and then you just tell it to go. It'll lower the plate into the isopropyl alcohol. And this, by the way, takes almost 4 gallons of isopropyl alcohol inside of this chamber. But it lowers it down the plate and all and washes it all in there. And when it's done, it'll actually raise it back up and blow dry it. Now, once the model is washed, you want to take it off of the wash station carefully and remove the model from the build plate. They include a bunch of tools to do this. Just be careful you don't damage the build plate like any other resin printer out there. Once it's completely dry, you throw it in the curing chamber onto the turntable. You can shut the door, and then you're going to take the build plate you just had and tap it to the curing station. That's right, it reads the RFID chip. It tells the curing station what temperature to heat up to. That's right, this has a heated chamber, and also how long to cure your print, etc. So then all you have to do is select OK, and it just starts. It heats the chamber up, it cures the print, and when it's done, you hear a little chime, and that's it. It is super simple because that build plate holds all of the information about the resins you're using, and you just use that all the way down the process so you can't deviate, and everything's the same every time, for a very consistent process. So I do stand corrected because I looked up this after I made the video, and I realized that this machine actually can dry and cure. So it doesn't have to be 100% dry. I'm just used to doing that in other machines, but this actually has a heating time and a drying time and also a curing time. So something to think about with this, that could actually make your prints go faster if you don't have to wait for them to fully dry, because this machine we'll dry it. So let's talk about who the DF2 Plus resin system is actually for. It is really a complete resin ecosystem that starts with your slicing, and then your printing and washing, and then the curing. And it's all aimed at businesses to have a full, easy-to-use solution that's replicatable across as many build plates as they want using the same materials or any of the materials that they want to use. It's great for prototyping or assembly line type businesses that need the same consistent prints over and over to get the job done. Now, I don't know that this would be great for home use unless maybe you're running a small business from your home, and then this would be a great ecosystem to buy into. Now, don't forget you have to have room for these machines. I showed the machines on an 8-foot table. That is just, it's a lot of room, and you could probably condense that down a little bit, but they really need some room to breathe. The printer needs room for the automatic fill station, and the wash station needs room for the waste bucket, so it purges out the waste. So you definitely need some room between the machines, but mine is on an 8-foot table if that gave you any kind of scale of what kind of room you're going to need. I guess I would say if you're in small businesses like we talked about and you need all the bells and whistles, this thing is awesome. But if you're at home printing like figurines and dragons and things like that, this probably isn't the machine for you. Let me know in the comments what you think of the DF2 Plus resin system. What would you use it for if you had it? Would you use it? Do you think it's a great idea? I really do think that it's the most complete automatic resin 3D printing system I've ever used. Everything was just, it was super easy to use. Resin's, not the easiest stuff to print with, and this just makes it so much easier knowing I don't have to come up with settings for all the different resins you use and stuff like that. But what's your favorite part about these machines? I'm curious about that too. There's so many specs that I didn't go over, but from what I did go over, what was your favorite part? Special thanks to Raise3D for sending the DF2 Plus system over to me. I really do appreciate you guys letting me check it out. Full disclosure, I don't get to keep these machines. I do have to send them back after this video, but I am going to miss them in the studio. I haven't printed with resin in quite a while, and this actually made me like resin printing again, which is a lot to say. But again, thank you for sending it over. I really appreciate it. It is an absolute beast of an ecosystem, and you guys did a great job on it. And for everybody else, as always, if you haven't checked out this video right here, you should probably check that out next.